Robert McDonald Jr. How you doing today, man?
I'm blessed and highly favored. Blessed and highly favored. Happy to be here.
That's always great to hear, dog. That's always great to hear. Um, First things first, I was checking out your show, and I really love the realness of your show. My homie Dr.Green will shoot your marriage episode, or what is it? Is it the marriage episode or the dating episode? The point is that episode, I really enjoyed it. I know he'll enjoy it because you guys have like the same thought process, and I like the realness of your show. It's cool. It's cool.
I really appreciate that. It was called "Someone Worth Marrying." Basically talking
Yeah, there
about
we go.
someone worth marrying. Yes, we gotta talk about these things. Because a lot of people be having the same open discussions about the same different things every month. Like who should pay for this, all these different things that we always talking about. That shouldn't have to happen. And so I'm like, you know what? Let's get up in here and let's talk about the real stuff that's going on. Let's talk about how we're not really loving ourselves. Let's talk about how we're not really loving the people that we're with and just staying in relationships for survival and not love. Someone worth marrying. Like, that's what it's all about. Worth marrying. Someone spending your life with for longevity.
No, I love your take on it. It's crazy because I mean I know me and I know how my basically my path and patterns to becoming more stable now as far as like finding a relationship and a partner. Started off I was just in it for the game of it, and I remember my dad said something to me that sat me on my ass. I remember I thought I was really doing something in what was it, junior year of high school, and my dad said, you switching partners is showing your maturity. And I was just like, damn, just a punch to the gut. Like and I felt that when I was listening to your stuff. I was like, yo, that's real stuff. I don't know what it is that makes us, I don't know, makes us all hyper in that early age. And one thought process is it kind of goes, oh, you're doing that to learn more. But then there's also like, if you really can understand it, the waste of time or really trying to actually hold on to the moment you have, I really like that you're that's basically what I kind of got from it when I was listening to it. Don't be as wasteful as we are. That's pretty much what I got from it. Don't be as wasteful as we are.
I'm glad you got that from me. Like, we come from a scarcity mindset. That's really what it is. Because when you're dealing with somebody, and like as far as love goes, as a child, everything that we have done up to now has always been something that has ended up coming up from our childhood. Like we express love a certain way, and then somebody will shoot us down, and we're trying to kill that part about us, and we'll go and change ourselves and change ourselves and change ourselves. But the thing is, we don't think that we can continue to get love. Love is abundant. Love is eternal. Love is everywhere. Love is inside you. You are love. So as long as you understand that, you'll know that, okay, I love this person because I love them because I am love. And if they don't love me back, then that's fine because it's unconditional. I can be happy without having to get anything in return. Everybody wants something in return. They don't think it's going to be able to be substantial or last long. So that's what they always try to keep it together and keep it and hold on to it, even though they know for a fact that the relationship is dead. They water in dead plants. There ain't nothing they can do about it, but they just want to stay there because, shit, I might not love anybody. Somebody might not love me again later on in life.
I think that's beautiful that it captures. That's pretty much what happens, and they miss people. I feel like people miss out on the importance of opportunity and more growth. And um, I do want to stop and pull it back and ask you, what led you to podcasting, man?
Man, that's a good question. Actually, I didn't even know I was going to do podcast. I never thought about podcasting until like this summer. I
Mm-hmm.
was in Houston for a while, like early this year, and I was protesting and everything for the George Floyd. And so we end up getting caught up by the police and everything. It was a whole debacle about that whole situation and everything. We was in jail for like a good 35 hours just before I got
Oh, damn.
like released and everything. Yeah. So I like, you know what? As much as this protesting is, it's good, and I want to have my voice heard and everything like that. It's better ways to go about it and put my energy towards it without me having to get locked up and shit for that shit. You know what I'm saying? I can go ahead and start a podcast and still use my voice, and people will listen to that shit And I won't have to be out in harm's way like that as much until my people are ready to actually do something about it. Because right now, we're not really ready for it yet. So I don't want to go out there and expend my energy because it's all energy. You know what I'm saying? A lot of shit is draining. That protest stuff, that's really a ritual. You know what I'm saying? It's
Yeah.
all energy. Exactly. So I don't want to put myself in that position if we're not really ready for that yet. So I'm going to go ahead and podcast, speak my mind, speak my truth. And it's been pretty good. It's been a good experience so far. People listening to it, talking about it. And I didn't think it was gonna be that impactful. So I'm really humbled at the whole situation that it right now. Like it was just at the whim, just do it.
Yeah, man, I've really been enjoying it. It's a so I think initially when I met you virtually, the first thing I asked you was you in any association with the 1619 project, because by the same time I was being introduced to you, I was going through the New York Times 1619 project, and I saw that you guys were both what's it? I'm trying to say basically not the black agenda. It was I'm trying to figure out a word to say because I don't like when people call it the black agenda because it's I don't know, it's something about a stigma when you call it the black agenda. But the point is, I saw that it was bringing knowledge to black people, and that's why I was like, okay, is this an association with this? And I started checking it out, and I found that there was a more realer aspect on it, and I really like what you're doing. And shoot, I even got more. I got questions on your thoughts on and philosophies on things, and for like just for instance, because I love that you said you recognize that the energy for protesting it's a ritual that we do, and it doesn't necessarily hone in on things that we can get done. I've always felt that way about it, and for me, I've never went out. I've always wanted to. I think have I went to any protests in my life? No, I haven't. The only thing I've been to is maybe like a parade to support something. But as far as going to an actual protest, I always looked at it as like, nah, there's other ways I can do something because it's just like there's better tech that you could use to imply. Personally, I think it's not efficient. I mean, it lets everyone know that there's something going on, but I always think back to the hardcore thing where if you really want to hit somebody where it hurts, you hit them in the money. You hit them with the boycotts. You hit them while directing your money towards more black-owned businesses. And it's just I started thinking about
Exactly.
all those things, but it always seems like we're just reaction based first. Let's just get out to the streets. And then we got a-holes that hop in and mix in with the crowd and do their own bull crap. And it just convolutes everything. And I'm not trying to go on a
Exactly.
tangent, but it's just like I want to have these conversations and then find the people that want to design the things later. So when we have to get there and press that button again, we can make sure that button actually works.
And that's what's important because right now we really need to go ahead and have a button to press. We don't have a button to press. Everything's going on around the world. Philly's going up in arms right now. You know what I'm saying? Stuff going on in Portland, Minneapolis, Dallas happened too. You know what I mean? We had the protests out there on that bridge. Everybody got caught up over there at Houston. It's been going on all over the country. All 50 states have had protests in at least 2, 3 cities of it. You know what I'm saying? And it's still going on now. And we a few days from the election. It's 400 years is over. That's why I started the podcast. That's why I called it 1619 Radio because it's a time like it's a spiritual aspect of it, and it's a I don't want to say a black agenda, but it's an awareness aspect of it. Like as if
Yeah.
we're gonna be the kings and queens that we're supposed to be, it's not just like voting. It's not just what I'm saying having our own. It's a spiritual awareness. It's a mental, emotional awareness. It's called having that village mindset. You know what I'm saying? It's getting together, loving each other, and acknowledging the trauma that we went through because we got this shit. And let's say today, they're like, you know what, all y'all, we gonna give y'all your reparations. Y'all get this land over here. You know what I'm saying? Y'all good to go. What's gonna happen after that? Like, have we had? We had a $1,200 stimulus check. Where did that go to? Now, are we really ready to be of our own self and our own nation? You know, that's why we getting that. It's not just money. It's not just power source. It's not just military power or anything like that. It's actual being human. You know. And we gotta
Yeah.
get down to that. We gotta get down to the stuff that we hide from each other, the stuff that we don't ever want to talk about. And we
And since we're here, we should talk about it because one of the biggest things that I notice when it comes to when you want to get the black community together, there are different mindsets. And I know what I like, I guess stepping back and kind of bringing it to more of a bigger frame. what I'm essentially doing with the podcast for me, I'm I'm learning. I'm learning and I'm
Mm-hmm.
feeling the spectrum so I can decide, how I actually feel about things, what I feel, I guess not necessarily matter. Yeah, what I feel matters to me. And not only that, I'm learning from others to see other perspectives on things and what that does. I want to use that to hopefully push more for some good. And I know with my thought process, basically, just bringing it back together. I a lot of times when it comes to the black, getting us together, there's different mindsets, and one of the ones that bothers me the most is we're always saying only black and just black, and I want to know what your thoughts on, or if that's just what it is, and this underlining part that I'm mentioning, if that's there, but it's just said that way from the jump. And what I'm getting at is keeping it black, but also keeping integration in mind. And I wonder, what are your thoughts on that?
What did Martin Luther King say before he passed? He feared that he was integrating us into a burning home.
Mm,
Marcus Garvey had one of the most prolific black movements in history. Marcus Garvey had one of the most prolific and widespread black movements in history. Talking about Cuba, Puerto Rico, Africa, Jamaica, the Caribbean. Everybody that had black people in it had that red, black, and green flag, right?
mm-hmm.
And the thing that he was preaching wasn't integration, wasn't anything like that. It was just self-sufficiency and self-empowerment. We do our thing over here, you know what I'm saying? We mind our business, y'all do y'all thing over there. And the white nationalists never gave him a problem. They never gave Marcus Garvey a problem because they knew, like, yeah, all right, we doing our thing here, you do your thing over there, we ain't gonna trip. Now you might bring up Black Wall Street because we had that and they blew that shit up. But other than, I mean, why did they do that? It might have been jealousy. I don't know. Maybe we didn't have the means to protect ourselves. I don't know. I wasn't there. I wasn't there back then, but I just know right now it's like this. This is how I put it. You know the movie Transformers? You got the
I do.
Autobots. You got the Autobots, right? Let's
Mm-hmm.
say all of human race is the Autobots. Now you got some Decepticons. You got some Autobots. That's just good and evil. That's just good. It's
Yeah.
not black against white. It's really just good and evil. That's all it is. Right and wrong. That's all the fight has been since the beginning of time. Good and wrong. Right and wrong. Good and evil. So let's say you got Bumblebee. You got Jazz. You know what I'm saying? Then you got Optimus Prime. Now it was I don't remember which movie it was, but it was a time I think, right, like if he had to go see his other primes. So he's an Autobot. He's a Transformer, but he still has his own select people that he has to encounter and that he talks to, his own race. Okay, that you want to talk about, I guess you can put in, like his own
Yeah.
class. So just because he's a prime, he's not Bumblebee, he not Jazz or the others. He's a prime, but he's still an Autobot. He's still a Transformer. That
Yeah.
shows to show that, I mean, yeah, we can all unite and we can be together, but we still have our selective differences that we got to stay in. You know, like the Bible say, you're not supposed to mix classes or be unequally yoked or anything like that. Like it's simple. You know what I'm saying? You can't mix oil with water. That's bad. That's how it is at the end of the day. I mean, I wouldn't say we shouldn't be integrated or segregated, but we should be able to distinguish mine from yours or yours from mine. We shouldn't have to have our black communities under the foot of the government and having to ask for them for money and ask for them for subsidies and ask for them for tax write-offs and all that stuff like that. We should be able to give to ourselves. We should be able to do for ourselves like we used to. That's all we want. At the end of the day, is to be men, to be women, to be free. We can't do that if we're asking everybody if we can get what we need. If we're asking everybody if we can get what we want, to
I
not be
feel that.
killed.
I feel that part, and I always like to say that what we need is we need sources. We need multiple sources for things. That seems like to be one of the biggest things that I noticed that we don't have. We don't have certain foundations, and that's why there is a push for us to gather together and build that. And it's it's um it's one of those things I struggle with because I also in my head, I think about the concept that I've started to believe in, or I logically thought about it, and I started to just believe in it. Division leads to blood, and that's just one of those things that just I can't shake it, because when I look at time, when I look at history, it just always leads to blood. Division always leads to blood. And I haven't, my books on Garveyism hasn't, my books are dusty as hell, because I'll let you know, all I know about Marcus Garvey is his movement, what Dr. Umar Johnson would say about him, and that's pretty much what I like. That's kind of how much I know about him. I know about Dr. Umar Johnson's movement, and how I feel about that. Like, it sounds like a beautiful movement. I just I just don't. It's the division that always bothers me, because I think about it, how if you could take something, that same concept, apply that to the right radical, then we just pretty much become another version on the other side. And I don't know, it just seems like there's too many damn people for us. Like, I understand it. Build your shit, and I really don't know what integration looks like without us being in our own. Because gentrification is okay. Well, it's so freaking it's so complicated, because I look at it that way, because you can't just sit there and say your whole Oakcliff is, you're just gonna start importing random people in it, because then that'll be just weird too. But I don't know. I'm still in a teeter tottering area, and I don't really know where I go with that, other than I'm still doing research. What do you see a future where we come back together? Is there a future is there a time and place where we are together? And I guess when that means is a person can go to another neighborhood, and it's like, oh, it's just another place. It's just another place. It doesn't really matter that these people look different or have differences in the culture that they have. And is there ever going to be, because essentially I think that's what it is. It's just different cultures. That's what it really is. It's not even the race part of it. But do you see something like that in the future?
I think we are there right now. It's just, I'm gonna explain. You said you can go to another neighborhood and just, like, be safe or anything like that. Is that what you're saying? Like, as far as, like, you go
um
to a white neighborhood, or like a Hispanic neighborhood, Chinese, Asian, something like that.
No. What I was getting at there is, I understand, because there was what's his name? Oh, Killer Mike. Killer Mike was talking about it. It's it's a okay for it's okay. So it's gentrification. If we kept it black and made it just black, and we made areas other black, then that's okay, because that's culture. And what I was getting at was, if you took in any other race and you wanted to integrate it by, I guess, saying adding them to that area. Say, for instance, an Asian guy decided to move to a fully black area. That would be, I don't know. It feels like that would be weird, because of, it's just, I don't know. It's weird. It's weird. I don't get it, because I can see. I don't even. What the hell am I even asking? The point that I'm getting is, that's what I was getting at. I was holding on to, if we had a black area, and then we were just the integration of people wanting to move there. I don't see that as an efficient form of integration, I guess.
I see what you're getting at. What you're talking about is something kind of like what Dr. Umar had mentioned once. It's basically like having a land reserve, or, something like that. Some allotted land that's actually designated for us. Now, you in Oak Cliff right now. You say you in Singing Hills. You know what I'm saying? You got black people there. You got Mexicans there. You know what I'm saying? But, like, it's not specifically or categorized exclusively for the blacks. Not say blacks, but black people or people of color. You know what I'm saying? So right now we don't have any of those. There's no state lines. There's no city lines that says this is for the Hispanics. This is for the blacks. This is for the whites. So people can go and do whatever they want. They can move around, and if they feel they have the need. But if that was the case, then we would have to have actual land allotted for us, like actual reserves just for us, and it had to be mandated through the state, through the federal government, stuff like that, for that to be actual substantiated and set in stone. Like, because where can you go right now that's just for black people or anybody? just for white people. Because you can go and move in their neighborhood too if you wanted to.
You can't. And I don't it's like I don't know if that's a solution. I don't know if I don't know, because I think about that's how we were originally, and do we, I guess, do you do that, and is there ever a time where we don't do that? Because in some form or fashion, I think it would turn into, okay, well, this class of people, and when I say class of people, I just mean when you separate and you go and start doing your own thing, you start building, eventually you're going to want to grow. Eventually you're going to want more. So then you start wondering, okay, do you just leave that as just buying out more people? Yeah, you could probably do that. I guess that would be the way to go about it, but will it ever, it's like, I imagine it as a place that would split down the middle eventually. If you went to the most highest future you could, if you start going with that concept, eventually you would lead to some form of a split. And maybe then who knows? Then you'd ask, okay, let's go ahead and just buy the country or buy some area away, or it sounds like a civil war kind of thing. And I don't know. It's just, and I'm trying to make sure I'm not just saying I don't know, because I don't want to be pussyfooting around about some shit. I'm trying to just get my points across without, yeah, you get me. I don't want to be saying I don't know. Like I think you understand what I'm getting at. But the what I'm trying to say is basically the way my thoughts are on division, the excuse me, the way my thoughts are on division, I don't it kind of leaves me in turmoil, and I don't know if that, well, I don't think that's the answer, and I'm not trying to get an answer. What I'm, I guess, essentially doing is just trying to open my mind up to it more, to see if integration would be a thing for somebody ever again, or if it, or the pathway is just to separate and build our own and have our own little colony here in the United States again.
I don't think there's going to be a way to make everybody happy without any bloodshed or like anybody not feeling bad about what's going on, because there's some racist people out there that do not like us. You know what I'm saying? There's some
Yeah,
people that just do not fucking like us. You know what I'm saying? So this day they gotta get dealt with, because as long as they're around, they can spread that hatred, they can spread that fear to other people. You know what I'm saying? And they
yeah,
can be a threat to us. Like I said, we had Black Wall Street. Not a lot of people don't even know. They were having talks about trade with out like international trades and doing business with China and England and stuff like that. They was really moving up. All these black hospitals, banks, schools and stuff like that. We was a full nice community and everything like that. So the people that was of power, that was hating, that was mad, the citizens really that had the help of the police department in Tulsa. You know what I'm saying? They the ones that did that because they was jealous. It was the poor whites. You know what I'm saying? It's all about equality, not racial equality, but energetic equality. You know what I'm saying? We're
mm,
all energy. We're all spirits in a human flesh body. You know what I'm saying? Like at the end of the day, we just want to be free and be able to live life how we want. So if that means being able to go to your own, having your own for your community, that's good. You can still go out to another community and go out to the white areas, or to go out to the Asians and still parlay with them, do with them. But you still want to have something that's in your own neighborhood. When you go to your neighborhood and see all the ran down apartments, ran down homes, know the food deserts and everything like that, you think, why is this happening? Why do I gotta go all the way over here to get some food? Go all the way over here to get some clothes when I got perfectly placed? That can happen. That
and
we
I feel that.
and the way I see it, like I'm at a point where I'm about whatever. You know what I'm saying? I'm tired. I'm really tired. So whenever my people are ready to make a move and a decisive move, and we're not gonna pussyfoot around it and keep on like, man, maybe we should do this, maybe we should do that, and not trying to please everybody, but instead put ourselves on the forefront, then we can make a move, because we haven't had any real like civil rights movement since Martin Luther King and them. It's our turn. You gotta think about it. No people, no group of people, no civilization has ever gotten their freedom from just peaceful protest. This is going back from before Christ. I'm saying? We can talk about Rome, the Roman empires, the Chinese dynasties, you know what I'm saying? The Qing, whatever you want to call it. Like if a people are being abused, eventually they are going to rise up. And I remember it's a quote that Dr. Umar said, so I can get it right. He said, studies show that any harm or discontent that happens to one specific group of people that goes unchecked will continue to happen. And that shit will grow in degree of it. We have not been doing nothing. We got all these tests on us from the Tuskegee experiments, you know what I'm saying? They over here giving black people AIDS in Africa, testing these vaccines. They doing all this stuff to us, killing us on the streets. George Floyd happened 8 minutes and 26 seconds, 46 seconds of his knee on his foot, on his neck. Like we're seeing this daily. And that shit happening. And we talking about, please stop killing us. Please, no more. This shit gonna keep happening until we make it stop. This shit gonna keep happening until we make it stop. That's why, like, I don't know if I want to talk about that. Because that shit gonna be controversial too. But yeah, fuck it. With this voting.
Yeah.
With this voting, man, like, we've been voting since when did the 15th Amendment come out?
I'm not gonna fact check, but we know what we're talking about. That's the
Yeah,
important
you know
part.
what I'm saying? So we've been voting all this time. What do we have?
Not a
Not a
damn,
damn
not a
thing. Not a
damn
damn
thing.
thing. I'm saying is we don't need a leader, especially we definitely don't need a white leader. You know what I'm saying? Fuck Trump and Biden. You know what I'm saying? Like they can't do shit for us that we can't do for ourselves. We can do everything that we want to do for ourselves. We can do for ourselves. We can bring ourselves together, become a community, put our money together, make sure that we don't go all the way out to North Park or anywhere so we can spend the money in their neighborhoods. Keep our shit circulating through our communities for at least a good 2-3 days at least. Can we do that? We can't keep it in our community for 6 hours. Can we at least get 2-3 days, a weekend of money staying in the black neighborhood? Watch how that changes things around. You know what I'm saying? Just that. The vote not gonna do much if all you're going to do is put a check on a ballot and then go about your day like nothing else is gonna happen. Like you ain't got nothing to do. Okay, I voted. All right, my civil duty is done. What? No, it don't stop there. It didn't even begin there. We weren't allowed to vote in the first place. So why are you even thinking that's gonna be a solve an issue? They said they
Yeah.
figured out a way, because they didn't let us vote. They did not want us to vote. So what they did was they finally found a way to make it look like we can do something. They're like, all right, look, these niggas don't have no power. That's why we're gonna make the electoral college now. So that's really gonna be the ones picking the presidential candidate. Like it's all illusion of freedom. That's all they give us. They give us illusions of freedom. They take away the symbolism of slavery without actual taking away slavery. Taking away the symbols of racism instead of actually removing the racism. It's like that's why
And
everybody want to vote for Biden because it's really not even Biden. It's not Biden that we voting for. It's Kamala Harris. Like, because she black. Well, she really Jamaican. She's not really black. You know what I'm saying? American black. But I don't know what we're looking for. I don't know what we're trying to do. But we gotta start doing for ourselves. Is what I'm getting at. The 400 years is over, so it's time to make a move. It's ascension.
I definitely agree on the stance of we have to do more for ourselves, and it just seems like one of those things that'll help us so much more would be resources and better tech, and that's a another start, a way to connect us better, a way to actually make things happen.
To unify
Uh,
us.
yeah, just not only just unification, but communication, being able to. I mean, because my stance on a lot of things. For instance, one of the things that kind of ticked me off when things started popping off earlier in the year, when we were shifting everything to black-owned businesses, I was kind of pissed because everything I saw was, hey, come to my restaurant and just buy a plate, when what we really needed was a black grocery store so we could go there and buy our foods and goods and get our shit from there, so that way, because when you get a plate, you paying maybe like $10 for a plate, and then after you get your plate after you just left Walmart, and you're not supplying the more stuff. Like you're getting your supply still from an outside source. And if you're really gonna be about it, then you have to figure out how you're gonna get that, how you're gonna grab that source. And I was basically looking up. I started researching. I remember I located a Save-A-Lot that a black owner had purchased. I believe he purchased it out of the I forgot how it goes, where you buy it and it's still the name, but you change the name so you own that particular location, but the trucks are still running there and everything too. So you basically buy the storefront, but it's still connected the same ways that it was if it wasn't
Black
it's
owner.
basically, yeah. And
Exactly.
what's up?
I was saying exactly. I was agreeing with you.
Oh, okay. I didn't. Okay. Well, but basically, yeah, that, and then it just kind of the question started populating in my head. So what does it what matters? Does it matter that it's owned by a black person, and I know that black person is helping out that community? Because I started, when I say I dived into research, I was in hyperdrive looking at all this information, drawing up plans, trying to connect with people, and then I learned that, well, shit. Then I learned from just doing that. There's also that, who the fuck are you trying to come in here and make plans without a respected voice? And then it's just like there was that. There was also I located a black farmers market out of Fort Worth, and it's black owned. And I was like, okay, cool. Well, that's a start for something. How can we connect that to the people? And then when you actually start listening to how people are actually running their businesses, they're running it through getting their supplies through Sam's Clubs or something. And
Mm-hmm.
it's just so it's convoluted. People are more on the edge of convenience, and the only thing that I can even think of or fathom for something like this would be better tech, connect, and I guess you would start with something like that. I I do fear for the radical on it because I know the radical can just happen in any idea. Whoever gets the idea and say, I know what we need, and of course I don't want that to ever happen. But it's just it's human minds. You got all these ideas that push forward. It's a matter, like, it's an equation. Who knows when that one kid's gonna wake up and say, you know what, I know what we need to do, and I don't want it to lead to blood. I don't want it to lead to blood. We've already done that. I don't want to see. I don't want to see this turn into anything bloody. And I know what you say when a people is oppressed, things don't happen until basically they take a stance. They take a stance. I'm what are your thoughts on what we was talking about earlier with do you think money, or hitting it where the money, hitting it, hitting the other people, or the people that we want to see changes, if we hit them in the money, do you think that is the way that can also arrive to better changes for our people as a whole?
No, because we did that already.
Mm.
I mean, look at it like this. When 1619, we first started getting over to Americas. We was here for one purpose, is that was to be a resource, to build up the country. Did we do that? Yes. Now, they gave us our freedom because they believed that it needed to. I mean, the only reason that Abraham Lincoln gave us our freedom was for the economical impact that it would have on the South. You know what I'm saying? He didn't really do it because he thought slavery was wrong. Because if that was the case, they would have abolished slavery a long time ago. They always put it back, put it off, put it off, put it off, put it off, put it off until now they got Civil War. And so you say, okay, they making a whole lot of money. They're making a whole lot of money with this free labor. You know what I'm saying? And that's all we were, free labor. So now we are here today, and you say we need money. If we just were slaves, what government or a person would give his slaves everything that he needs to be free, to be whole again, and not need him anymore? We get the communication aspects of it. We get the technology so we can communicate and unite ourselves. We get the produce. We get the money that we need. We get the military power to be able to protect ourselves. What are we going to need the white man for? How are they going to be able to control us anymore? How are they going to be able to instill fear in us anymore? And like with these with our black communities and everything, you can have a black-owned business, but if every aspect of that business is not black-owned, then it's redundant. You got a black-owned business and you put your money in a white bank, that money is going to accrue interest in the white neighborhoods, and they're going to give out loans to white people to make business for themselves, and that's going to go back to you. It's not going to go back to our communities. It's going to them. So I think about it like this. If I was a leader of a country, or if I was about to start my own country, what all would I need to be beneficial and to be able to thrive and to be able to be successful? I need black farmers. I need black ranchers. I need produce. I need vegetation. I need laws, teachers. I need electricity. I need power. I need distribution, publishing. I need all kinds of different things. It go full circle. You building the whole country. This is a nation, a black nation. Look, we got 50 million black people in America right now. That is a nation within a nation. But what do we have? How united are we? What are we moving towards? And we got to think about that. Now, I understand people don't want bloodshed. If it was a perfect way to do it, I'm pretty sure we would have did it already. Like I said, we've been fighting since before time, since the beginning of time. It's not about black and white. It's about right and wrong. It's about good and evil. Because you can go to a white person and you can find so many similarities between them and you. You can love them because we operate in love. We are people that love and compassionate beings. So all that race shit is just an illusion to keep you divided. But at the end of the day, we still need to have our own so we can be able to be formidable people, a formidable nation.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
I dropped out when you said you can see a white person, you can relate to them, you can identify similarities, and you can still love them. And then it went silent. Could you run it back from there?
Yeah. So you can meet a white person, an Asian person, whatever the case may be, whatever ethnicity or race. You can find similarities. You can also find differences. But in all of those similarities and differences, you will find reasons why you can love that person, why they can love you. And at the end of the day, that's all that really matters. Once we can get past all the differences and the shit that they want to categorize us as and classify us as, take away all the classifications and distinctions and just know that this is the human being. This is the man that wake up in the morning and want to feed his family. After that, like, where's the sympathy at? Like, it should be easy now. We all want the same things. We all want the same thing. But it's the people that power that's fucking everything up. It's the people that power.
Let's run with the idea of a black nation. Say, for instance, there was a body of land that it's a black nation. Does this black nation let in, I don't know, other races that want to help that black nation?
Help from a distance. We got Africa. We got Africa. That's the biggest black nation ever. You know what I'm saying? The original black nation. You know, I feel like that country, that continent should be one. You know what I'm saying? We got Yoruba, Ethiopia, Nigeria, all these different places in Africa. We should be one Africa, one people. That's what Marcus Garvey was on. One Africa for Africans, home and abroad. So the concept is, you're in Africa, we gotta repatriate to Africa, we build Africa up. And yeah, we can have our allies, but they can stay in their area. You know what I'm saying? They can probably come in and help or whatever. They got to leave, though. They can't stay forever. They can learn from us, go back. They can come, help, learn from us, go back. We can do the same thing. We can go to them, learn from them, help them out, and come back. We always come back to our original and our true home, though. That's like I said at the beginning, you know, they fucked with Marcus Garvey because he just wanted to have his own, and he wanted to do it at this place. Like, I'm gonna go over here, I'm gonna build my shit up, you can build your shit up over there, and we gonna be good, we gonna be copacetic. They're like, okay, bet, fuck it, I like that, do your thing. We ain't gonna fuck with you, you ain't gonna fuck with us, we good. And if you wanna go and, you know what I'm saying, have some drinks every now and then, that's all fine. But when it comes to living with each other, you know what I'm saying, it just can't, because we are two different kind of motherfucking people, and it's gonna be clashes. It's gonna be, our history is 400 plus years strong, you know what I'm saying, it's been solidified, it's cemented. the shit that they ancestors did to our ancestors, that shit gonna be, it's not gonna go unpunished. It's not gonna go unpunished. So the way I see it, we build our own and get away from them, like on some Sodom and Gomorrah shit. Like, you need to, I don't know, man. I don't got the answers.
And that's I've honestly that's okay because for me, I run out of answers a lot as well. I run out of answers all the fucking time. It's a thing that is on everybody's tongue. but but even further, I in some okay, so Cat Williams once made a joke about how one of those super Earths, and he was going basically they're gonna all the white people are gonna leave and go start a new colony on the super Earths, and they're gonna leave us behind the Earth. They're gonna leave all the black people on Earth, and in some weird way, this so a thought that just popped up for me was what you would do in that instance is you could put all the black people together that aligned with that thought of we have to be separate because you have a freedom to be that way. Start on a space plan that's only for black people, and then the mission for them the next couple or whatever years to pull it off would be to because I was gonna say yeah we're flying to Mars and do shit there, but essentially what would happen is you could have it where black people would fly to Mars. I'm just kind of just fucking around with the thought process now. You fly to Mars, you get there before everyone else if you can. You start conquering and taking over Mars, and you basically make that the new black nation. And of course, it's at that point what would then turn into is America would go, no, 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 you can't do that. And then there would be wars. So there would be fucking wars. That's honestly what would happen. And I don't God damn it, I get hit by that damn wall again because it's not that I don't it's not that I don't want bloodshed. Okay, so I guess a little backstory for my thought process and yeah, just a little backstory for my thought process. When Thanos hopped on the scene back when I found out about him before the movies and in the comics and stuff, I really liked the fact that he had this whole thing of like, hey, let's just smite everybody and hit this reset button because I sometimes I just wonder what would happen if we just hit the reset button, took the cartridge out, and restarted all of this shit, and we just did it again. And you restart it and you would tell them a little simple story of, hey, there was this thing called racism that fucked the planet up. If y'all do it again, you just automatically dead. I'm of course, if anyone listens to this, I want to make it known that it's just a fucking thought experiment, just playing around with it. I don't plan on figuring out how to reset this bitch and get rid of every people. Anyway, the point is there's the thought of start thinking about that, and in some form of fashion I was going, that's a radical approach with that resetting everything, and just it's radical, and that's the easy approach. And I guess that's how I thought about it, and I started thinking more about a conservative thought process on it because as I started thinking about things, I went to this place of what's important: life and freedom and people with opportunities, and trying to find out ways to promote that concept the most. And it's just that's where my mind came together for it, because honestly, when I think about the radical thought process, if someone's not going to get up and grab a gun and go to war for what they believe in, then they're not really ready to be radical. And
Mm-hmm.
the common the common common tongue the common people are not worried about that. They're fucking worried about paying their goddamn bills and getting on fucking Facebook. I mean,
Exactly. That's what we're
and
worried about. That's why we're not making change. We still
yeah,
stuck in the norm. Still stuck in what we're doing every day. And when they did the sit-ins and they did the bus boycotts and everything like that, that was radical. You don't change rules or make new laws until you break the ones that are already in standing. It was illegal to go into a white establishment and eat. So what they did was they went inside them white establishments. They sit down. Now, we're not gonna
Yeah.
leave. And they took all that beating. They took all that spit, all that stuff. So now we can eat together. Now we can have education and learn together. And they did that. They sacrificed themselves to do that. Now we got to be able to sacrifice until we are ready to sacrifice for the greater good, not for ourselves, but for the betterment of the future people coming. That's when real change is gonna happen. But that's what it's about. It's about our children. It's about our children's children, the world that we're gonna leave them. And if we keep it up like we going now, they gonna have to deal with the same shit that we could have already dealt with. I remember it was a motherfucking video when we first started doing all the protests here in America and everything like that. And it was I'm gonna just throw some ages out there. It was a 16-year-old boy. It was like a 43-year-old man and like a 30-year-old dude. And so the 16-year-old boy and the 50-something-year-old dude, they was angry. They was ready to go up and fight. But the 30-year-old was like, nah, man, we gotta find a better way. We can't do this. 10 years from now, you gonna be going through the same thing, figuring out what to do. And I'm like, bro, people think that he's saying some wild shit, but he really just cursed us for a whole nother 10 years. It's really what he did. Bro, we are dying. A man just got killed in Philly a few days ago. They going up in Philly right now. We are still being killed by the police, still being kidnapped, still being subjugated and abused and oppressed by regular white motherfuckers to this motherfucking point. And you mean to tell me you got another 10 years in you to be able to see this shit happening? That's why, when George Floyd happened, I felt my heart sink into my stomach. Like, I was like, nah, this shit done. And that's why I had to make this podcast. Like, I gotta talk to somebody. I gotta speak. Somebody gotta be able to hear what I'm saying, and they gonna click. That's gonna kick them. They gonna talk to somebody else, and it's gonna spread like that, word of mouth. It's gonna. As long as we talk about it, at least something can happen. But I don't have another 10 years in me to be watching my people get killed. Shit, I might be the next one. My brother could be the next one. My mama could be the next one. Breonna Taylor got killed in her home. You tell me we finna worry about a vote? Like, it's just come a point in time where like we gotta put some shit to the side and focus on the elephant in the room. Get that motherfucker out. Everybody that ain't peaceful, that don't want peace, that, you know what I'm saying, that's on that evil ass, sadistic ass racism and everything, they gotta get dealt with. And then everybody else that's ready to unite and be integrated in love and be in harmony like we supposed to, we can do that. But ain't no way those Confederate flag waving motherfuckers are gonna just idly sit by and let us prosper and win without doing anything. So yeah, you might want to have a peaceful way as long as you can, you know what I'm saying, as strong as you want to be peaceful. But they don't. They will go to the utmost lengths to remain the master. You've seen it in Tulsa. You've seen it on the streets every day. They would do whatever they need to remain at the top. So it's gonna be a point in time where we gotta be like, you know what? Hey, gotta roll my sleeves up and gotta get to it. Because I'm not finna allow my predecessors to go through what I could have fixed and changed. I'm not gonna have them worrying about the things I was worrying about. When I have children, I want them to be happy, free, not have to worry about shit. Not have to worry about racism and like, why do they not like me because I'm black, or why do they call my hair nappy, shit like that. I don't want to have to explain that shit to my children. I don't want them to have to feel inferior from somebody, because they kings and queens. We are kings and queens. We shouldn't have to go through this shit.
What are your thoughts on police reform?
Have you seen the plantation police badge?
Yeah.
Don't it remind you of something?
Yeah. Let me
say this right now. Philly is protesting right now. Well, I'm rioting or whatever, right? About police brutality. They asked Joe Biden today, what do they think about it? He didn't acknowledge that a black man got killed by the police. He said, I don't think you guys need to loot and riot. And you know what I'm saying? They don't have to do any of that. You don't have to do the violence. But he didn't say anything about the person getting killed. He didn't say anything about black people being killed and attacked by these police officers. He just said stop looting and violence. That's because the police are not here to protect and serve us, but protect and serve capitalism. Protect and serve the businesses, the assets. That's why they'll get you if you looting and everything like that. But fuck everything else. Fuck the people. Fuck actually protecting us and actually like making sure life is safe for everybody else. But we're gonna make sure that these businesses don't get looted and vandalized. That's what's really important. Making sure the tax write-offs are good, the insurance is good. That's what they care. That's all they were for. Protecting property. We were property. That's what we were slaves. They were plantation police. They would go and get their property and bring it back. Us. They would go and attack. They would go and capture us, get them dogs, them horses. They would go find us, and bring us back because we were their property. That's the same concept now. Protecting the property, not the people.
Damn.
So that's
It's
why
I get that idea. It's crazy because it's one of it. It does bother me because when you look at that perception, it makes sense, and I can see why those thoughts will align back to that. And when I was introduced to the concept of the first, basically the first rendition of cops were, hey, just basically trying to police the slaves and give slaves back. And that idea then grew to other communities and then grew throughout America to then become just policing in general. I like to think that things aren't just one thing. I like to think that things are it's this, that, and it's also this and that.
Yeah.
And I would hope that today, yes, they're the assholes who, I mean, personally, when I see a lot of them out there, it looks like they're just scared and they don't fucking know what they're doing. Well, and I say that, but then I don't know those conversations that are held in other private meetings in my boardrooms or what. But I know for a fact there's a fear somewhere on their side, and that's probably what activates them. And the reason I even brought up reformation, it links to this idea, still to the idea that better tech will help us
That's
in
most
the
definitely.
end.
Because there's
And
some
that's
situations where like a police officer really isn't needed. You know what I'm saying? Let's say you had a mentally ill person having a whole anxiety attack or just having a whole mental breakdown, and you bring a cop by himself. He might need an actual fucking psychologist or a doctor with him. You know what I'm saying? To actually be able to explain what's going on. And if some force might be needed, that's when they come into play. You know what I'm saying? But we need different like some community outreach and some different stuff like for mental health and drug abuse. If you had those different things, community centers that we can do that, we wouldn't need the police that much. Cause they're answering calls that they are not trained for. That's just basically it. They're trained to react. Not even trained to react. They're trained to act before react. It's called not hesitating. You know what I'm saying? They're trained like just in case you I'm watching I don't know if it's called the Patriot Act or some shit. It's on Netflix. And they were talking about police reform and stuff like that. And there's this dude that's training the police officers basically to shoot first and ask last. Like it's no hesitation because you might get killed. It's a game that they play where you know what I'm saying. Let's say you're the suspect and I'm the police officer. What would happen is I would try to act like I'm going to shoot you, right? Like finger gun, all right, like I'm going to shoot you, but you got to go ahead and shoot me first before I even put my gun up. So it's like it's taking away the reaction, is going straight to it. Like ain't no hesitation, ain't no thinking. You just putting your gun down, you ready to shoot. That's what they teaching. They're not giving them no de-escalation tactics. They're not teaching them mental health. They're not teaching them how to be compassionate. They're teaching them how to put force in and to just stop an assailant. Do whatever they need to do to make sure they can get the outcome that they want. So
and
until we
that's
get
why I started looking into other ways because essentially what our problem, because that's what I do sometimes. Just sit there and try to analyze it and go, what's the problem to remove? What's the real problem here? And I go, fucking killing each other. We made it too easy. We've made it too easy to take a life. The fact that I remember watching, I forgot what it's sad. It's sad because it's so many of them. I can just play them in my head. I can't remember names, but I can play the fucking visions because those hoes. If you think about it and dwell on it too much, you probably will get some PTSD. But there was a scene where I fucking can't remember his name. The guy was getting in his car and of course, in the scene, it looks like he's grabbing for something, and then the officer starts shooting him in the back. He loads the whole fucking clip,
Exactly.
And it's just like, you good?
Yeah.
Oh, because shit, sound like you got fucking hit, bro.
Now I was agreeing with you, like you like why do they gotta empty the whole clip on a dude that ain't got a gun and he in the car, you right there over, right? One shot would be good. Like why you gotta empty the whole clip? Like you making sure that he dead
Your
or
ass
some
is
shit.
gonna stop after one goddamn now homie can't walk anymore, and that's my issue. That's one of my biggest things with it is we made it too easy to kill. We've made it too easy. We've made it too fucking easy, and I know that it just kind of goes to me and says, and I go, better tech would definitely be a better answer. And I know when I start talking like that, a lot of people might go, oh, that's fantasy. That's fucking fantasy. If it don't exist right now, that's fucking fantasy. If we put in the hard work, then I don't know, man, shit, you have something fucking, I don't know, stun gun or fucking
They
get your
got them.
Spider-Man. And yeah, they do have stun guns, but not the ones that are supposedly efficient where, because one, the stun guns we have now, people can fucking fight through that pain if they really want to. If they're on some shit, they can still bypass it. The other thing is, shit, you can get a lot of injuries from stun guns. You can get clipped in the wrong place, hit a line or an artery, you're bleeding out right there. And shit, you can get hit with a stun gun, and after the whole incident, now your body is jumping, or you threw your heartbeat off, or some skip like that. There's a lot of variables, and I always play around with the thought, but I just don't. I know it seems like what it is. It's like it'll cost too much fucking money, and no one's ready to do the hard work because I would like to think that better tech would be the answer, and and that should go in that fucking reformation thing. I know what bothered me a lot too is just the statement of defunding the police because that's not what it was. That would do probably nothing. I don't know how you feel about that. Actually, I would like your thoughts on just that thought process as well. When everyone started ranting about defunding the police, what were your thoughts on that?
I mean, I see that's definitely they get a lot of money. They be getting around like $1 billion whenever they do their budget. You know what I'm saying? So I'm pretty sure police officers don't need that much money. You know what I'm saying? You can put that towards housing, other areas that's better beneficial. I do agree with that. But at the same time, like you said, if a cop want to kill somebody, he gonna kill somebody, whether he got money for it or not. You know what I'm saying? Like it's not gonna that shit not gonna it's not gonna matter. It's about the mindset of each cop, the mindset and the values of each officer that's going out in these streets, and knowing that when they go out here, they're here to protect and serve. Yeah, they are out here in harm's way and in danger, but the first thing in your mind when you ask for this job, you decided to be a cop. You knew what was going on. Like, why is fear always on your head? We need to start doing some better psych evals. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. What does it take to become a cop? Can you just become a cop right after high school? You go through like 6 months or 6 weeks of police academy, and then there you out here motherfucking protecting the city. Like they need to go through more training. They need to go through continuous training, like CEUs. Like every year they need to go through diversity training. Just talking to therapists, getting this stuff out of their head, and they need to also have some kind of program in play where, like, if you start getting too many motherfucking complaints, or like people start suspecting that you doing some fraudulent ass shit or some evil racist ass shit, you got to get dealt with too. Like, you can't be on the force for too long. You gotta get suspended. I don't know what the case. We can do better, but at the end of the day, whether they had a taser that can pinpoint the right artery and just give them the right amount of voltage, and they just drop them like that, it ain't gonna matter if they choose to go for the gun each time. They got batons right now. They got all kind of other. When they go through self-defense classes, like, come on, you supposed to be able to fight. You a cop. You should be able to. Come on. I see no excuse for the gun to always be the first one that you go to, and then you're gonna shoot the whole clip off. There's no excuse for that at all. I can't find one. I just can't. Especially if you're a cop, you're supposed to know better. You're supposed to be above that. I don't care if I got a gun in my hand too. I mean, yeah, shoot me down. Fuck it. If I got a gun in my hand, yeah, shoot me down, bro. But like, you still should be thinking about life, preserving life first. That's to be the main thing, preserving that life, not ending it. That'd be the first thing they go to. Having that gun already out and you not even doing nothing. Like, how have you ever had that happen to you before?
No, I have not had that happen. I've had, well, I remember it was an incident where, because honestly, shit, PTSD or whatever you want to call it, or black annoyed, as Charlemagne likes to call it. There was an incident where cops were called on me and another person, and it was we both were about to get detained, and I remember I was making a final call out because I mean, shit, what it was in my head was, okay, I'm dealing with the cops. So the first thought is there's a good chance I might not live today. And that's the thought that's in my head.
That's a thought that's in everybody's head, and that shit's fucked up.
It is. It is. It fucking sucks that you have to have that thought be the first thing pop up when you're dealing with the fucking cops. I hate that shit with a motherfucking passion. I do. I fucking do. And that's why I don't think, like I just said, I don't fucking think they need to have, it does not need to be as easy as it is to kill. Cops need fucking better reform. And when you start thinking about all the shit that they fucking need, it's gonna turn into them needing more money at the end of the day.
So shit, at the end of the day, yeah.
And it's just, I wish I wish people could just police themselves. But
oh my God. Oh man. That'll save a lot of trouble right there if you just act like a fucking adult. I mean, like you got some sense. But I don't know.
I just start thinking about why people fuck up and do, well, not even necessarily fuck up. You start thinking why people do fucked up shit to begin with. It's just simple things like differences. Actually, and I can tie this. I'm gonna tie this back to Africa because I was thinking about how in Africa how there's a bunch of separation even there, and also how some people feel about just Americans going back to Africa, as in they look at us like there's a type of racism that gets built up for an American coming to Africa. If you're not going to the right place, you're looked at as kind of an abomination. Like, you don't know your roots. You don't know that shit. But a story from my life, I remember when we were younger, there was an incident where, because I lived in the suburbs, the suburbs. Not, is it the suburbs? Is Woodtown the suburbs? I lived in the houses in Woodtown. I remember me and a homie were walking, and there were some kids from the apartment up the street. And since we lived in the houses, they automatically assumed that we had money. And well, the reality of it is, everybody in the cliff, we all kind of in the same boat of fucking broke. And that caused an altercation. That separation of thinking of like judging somebody so quickly and just acting on that, it caused an altercation. And I don't know how you remove that. I don't know how you remove that from
communication.
Communication.
Communication. It's ignorance that's at the end of the day. Like, I'm coming to you, I see you have a house. Not that you got more money than me. People don't even understand it costs more to rent an apartment than it do to have a house. Like the mortgage, the rent for apartments be like $1,700 a month. You know what I'm saying? And it's not your house. You can get kicked out. They can boost that up more and kick you out. Like, it's ignorance. That's all it is. You assume that this person got this or this person got that because they have this and that, so that means they're like this. No, talk to them. Like I said, it's similarities and differences in everybody. But if you ain't talking to each other and communicating and finding out what's going on, you're gonna automatically put yourself in a different line, in a different lane than them, because you don't know. You don't want to know.
Yeah, that's that. Nobody wants to put the work in.
Basically, at
That's
the end of it all go full circle. At the end of the day, nobody want to put the work in. Nobody want to do what they need to do. They want it fast. We want fast answers. That's why that's why I think voting is too. You want something quick and fast, so you ain't really got to do shit. Like once we vote, like let's say everybody vote, and you got people that don't vote, but you get this sticker and everything. Like you feel good. I voted. Hey, I'm an American. I'm a citizen. I did my thing. I voted. Now I'm feeling uppity and I'm feeling like I'm better than you because you didn't vote. It doesn't matter at the end of the day. I don't think if you voted or not. It's just a matter. It depends on what are you actually doing in the community. Because if you got
there
two
you
people,
go.
person A and person B. Person A, he vote once every 4 years. Person B got a nonprofit. Get the fuck out of my face. Person B has a charity that they're doing. Person B goes and feeds the homeless every Saturday. Person B goes and reads to the children every Friday. Person A votes every 4 years. But he voted, so yeah. Hey, you can't say shit about what's going on in the country because you ain't vote. My nigga, I'm putting my work in every day than you will ever do in your whole life. All you think is you can do is vote. You ain't doing shit. You stopping at a piece of paper and then you think you done your job. You didn't. You didn't do nothing but conform.
Yeah, that's actually where my thoughts are. It's so back history for voting. Barack Obama. I voted for Barack Obama. Why? Because like Samuel Jackson said, I saw a black guy that had a shot and I voted for him. I was like, this is the opportunity. I voted for him. Hell yeah, I did. And I stand by that statement because that's the reason why I voted for Barack Obama.
Yeah.
Next election, fucking Trump versus Hillary. I was just sitting in fucking shambles, just tore up over the shit options we had been provided. And by that time, I'm still just kind of like figuring things out, or no. And I'm honestly, I was still a fucking ignorant ass motherfucker, just going, "Who? I don't know. I don't know." I know for a fact this Trump shit is stupid, and I hope that doesn't happen. And oh yeah, that's what it was. Bernie fucking dropped out of the race, and at first I was like, okay, Bernie might be a little bit different, so fuck it, why not? But then Bernie sat down. Then Hillary, like Hillary just dipped in fucking darkness. Not even just conspiracies, proven facts of fucked up shit. When her husband was there, we incarceration out the ass, and it's always hilarious because the black people always love Bill because he pulls out a sax. Anyway, it's just it was one of those things that just it was one of those things where I was like, there's more to this story. And then when you really get to it, like I hate politicians because what do politicians do? They pretty much go with the people. And yeah, it's their job to go with the people and go with what they think the people want. So they're always gonna be shifty. I'm more of a fan of a person who's, hey, this is what I believe in, this is what I want to do, and they march forward with those beliefs and thoughts. Maybe they update some things too, but they don't just fucking be a chameleon. Politicians are fucking chameleons, and that's disgusting. I'm fucking saying it. Politicians are fucking chameleons, and it's fucking disgusting. And when it came to the Hillary versus Trump the first time, I just was like that. Yeah, that's exactly what I was. Fuck it. My mom and everyone else in front of me were black and said the Democratic race was the way to go. So I fucking voted for Hillary like a little bitch. I conformed and voted for Hillary like a little bitch.
And see,
And she
that's
still fucking lost.
hey, let me see, I'm gonna say some shit because I be peeping game and I've been doing a lot of research myself. First, I'm gonna go all the way back to slavery again. I don't know why black people love Democrats and are so married to the Democratic Party because Abraham Lincoln was a fucking Republican and he freed us. You know what I'm saying? So the Republicans freed us. Now, when it comes to Trump, these 4 years that we had, tell me, like, really, how bad were they? Like, legit, how bad were they? And he racist, okay. He say some fucked up shit, okay. He not a politician, that's for fact. That nigga speak his mind, he say what the fuck he want, and he do his thing. And that's respectable. At the end of the day, he ain't a snake. A lot of these Democrats, they'll motherfucking smile in your face and motherfucking cross you in the back. You know what I'm saying? Like, what has Trump really done that just made everybody feel like, oh man, no, these 4 years has been fucking disgusting and we cannot have this again. Like, really, what has happened? Because we haven't been in war at all these 4 years. Barack Obama bombed Africa. Black president, he bombed Africa. When Barack Obama happened, Trayvon Martin died. This is what I think about that. Because, you know, every president is always chosen. Every president is always, that's why I think they really want Trump out of here, because that nigga ain't falling in line with their real agenda. He done said some shit that he ain't supposed to say. You know what I'm saying? That's why I think they really don't fuck with that nigga like that. I don't fuck with any of them because I don't think we even need a whole, we don't need a leader. We got everything we need in ourselves to be able to do what we need to do. But at the end of the day, what I'm saying is Trump has not bombed, we haven't been at war these 4 years. We haven't been at war the whole 4 years that we've been here. Yeah, people dying, you know what I'm saying? Police been killing people, but that's been happening already, still, even before, what's his name? Obama was president. But the thing is, what I'm getting at with Trayvon is, we had a black president, and then a young black boy was killed. So now, what's the American people thinking? Okay, maybe it's not a race issue or something like that. Maybe it's just a police issue because we got people getting killed. We got a whole black president. So now we taking it away from race and just maybe it's just police. It ain't just police. It's really the sick mindset of the people that we have in power. Barack Obama did all this shit and they ain't did nothing for us. The difference between a conservative and a liberal or a Democratic and a Republican is the Democrats, let's say a national disaster happened, the Democrats are gonna come in with smiles, try to help you out, but at the same time they're gonna be kidnapping kids, they're gonna be doing all kind of fucked up ass shit, and they gonna get a whole lot of goddamn money out of doing what they did too. The Republicans and the conservatives, they like fend for your motherfucking self. They on some state right shit. Basically just like, you know what I'm saying, Marcus Garvey, like do for yourself. Y'all got it? Y'all good? If y'all need help, go ahead, let me know. But if not, y'all, we gonna stay over here, y'all do y'all thing. Democrats are gonna come in here as like a motherfucking snake. Fuck around and you're gonna be ate up by their ass. They're so nice.
That's a loaded statement because I'm like, hold on, where the hell are the Democrats taking kids at? So even with that, branching to current states of news and politics and media, right now one of the biggest things is, saying that a lot of the elites and everyone are out here kidnapping kids, and I'm always a skeptic first, and of course, who knows? I would lean more on the darker shit. I'm pretty sure people in power think they got enough power to just do dark shit. But is there or better yet, is there a place, or can you elaborate on that and for like a source on that, or I guess also send me a link to that shit when we're done so I can like read up on that as well. But yeah, can you elaborate on that a little bit more? Because I mean, basically Democrats being snakes when they're trying to help with that scenario.
Okay, so let me first say it ain't gotta be just Democrats. It can be any motherfucking person. You know what I'm saying? There's this thing called the cabal or the deep state. I don't know if you ever heard of that. Basically, it's a group of families, a group of people, you know what I'm saying, that basically do all kind of sadistic, satanic ass shit and rituals that keep all their lineage within their bloodline, you know what I'm saying, all their incest and all that stuff like that. You know, the Queen of England, they families and all that stuff. They doing some stuff underground that's some real fucked up ass shit. There's this thing called adrenochrome that apparently everybody is going on about now, where basically they'll take the adrenaline and some other DNA factors from the little children and use that to make them like to be immortal and it's like a fountain of youth. And they
I
got a
was
lot of
just talking
movies.
to a guy about that. Actually, that's a cast that's coming up. There was a guy who was telling me about that, and I was sitting there researching it and going like, man, this is some, this is one of those things where it goes, oh shit, I hope this bullshit's not happening, but at the same time, it makes you go, you know.
Yeah, it's wild, man. It's fucking wild. Like it's a lot of a lot of our favorite celebrities, favorite politicians. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people that's up there in power right now. They do these type of things so that they can stay in power. They can live and get this. They want to like we got melanin in us. Black people, we got melanin in us, and they don't have that. So that's why they get wrinkled up all fast and shit at these old ages and shit. And we still be looking pristine condition and everything. So they need that so they can be able to say and survive and be able to live how they want. But what they do, they capture you and they do all kind of sick ass shit. That's right with these who was a dude, Rockefeller or some shit, he had what, like 8 heart transplants? And you got people that's been in line for them for how long? And you can get 8 of them hoes. My dude, bro, it's about time for you to go ahead and just, kick the bucket, bro. You don't have 8 heart transplants. They in line all that organ trafficking, all that stuff like that. That shit is real, bro. Like they out here capturing our kids, capturing our women, our men for our organs and everything like that, so that they can do whatever the fuck sick ass shit they want to do.
I
There's
would
more people.
not be surprised with a higher amount of money will allow a person to do. I do know that's one of those things where I wish I could get my Scooby Doo on and go to those little random camps where the presidents, the past presidents, all hang out, sneak into them with some fucking camera and record the footage and give it back to people. Um, it's one of those things where I would love to add and break some of the the skepticism around it, because I know me. I remember, and I share this story all the time. I remember a time when my dad, he shared this Illuminati DVD with me and my younger brother, and we were sitting there, and I remember he was just telling us about how fucked up the Illuminati was and all the things with it. I remember, I think the DVD was called "That's a Damn Shame," and it was just going through different celebrities, tying all these different links, and it was one of those things where as a kid it was hella believable. I was going, oh fuck, you mean to tell me every time this person died it was a blood sacrifice so that this person could become famous and all the things link up to where it works and all that. And I start going, I go I go yeah, it's easy to draw those lines, but it's is as
It's
Beyonce
wild.
said, is goofy, and I wonder, like, it's too much skepticism there for me to sit there and just go, I believe this. I I have to take it a step further and then figure out how can I bring and shed light on some shit without just coming up and pulling up some facts and showing you this. We need full on. I need full on proof. I ain't gonna lie.
We got it. You
We
ain't
got
heard
it.
about Epstein Island and what's the
Oh,
Green, Ghislaine Maxwell? They why they waiting to do that? Why they ain't tell everybody what's going on yet? Because we have an election going on. They know what's going on, right? With Hillary Clinton in her trial, ain't she supposed to go to trial about some shit? What happened to her? What's going on? Why is she tweeting still?
she
Why
wrote
is
out
she?
of that shit.
Nah, they what's going to happen. She still got to go through that shit. They gonna wait until all these decisions are made. They done did the election and everything. They gonna show everybody how corrupt and fucked up our government is, and we can't be able to do shit about it because we already got Biden and them in motherfucking office, or whatever the case may be. Trump is the only nigga that actually talked about going after the pedophiles. You know what I'm saying? All them occult motherfuckers. They the one in the cartels. Like Barack Obama didn't want going after the cartels. They weren't going after pedophilia and everything like that. Trump said he would though. I'm just saying. I mean, if there's some people you go after, it might be the pedophiles and the Satanists. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. It might be the cartel that's out here hanging folks and chopping people's head off and shit. I'm just saying. we gotta look at the facts. We can't put our feelings in when it comes to facts. We can't put our beliefs in the way of a fact, because a fact is a fact regardless of the situation, whether you like it or not.
That's definitely a truth. That's right there is definitely truth. The how you feel about the fact is not, well, no, it's important to some, but the fact is always going to be the fact. And I know I know for a fact, I want to dive into what is fact, and then also find a better of I guess a better way to show that fact, because there's another guy on YouTube who, if you ask me, he does a real good job at aligning those facts. Are you familiar with Young Pharaoh?
Oh yeah. I fucking Young Pharaoh.
And
Yeah.
he does a good job on lining and stringing those facts together. There are ways he goes about it. I feel like he should do a little bit better. But I haven't seen a video from him in about probably maybe like a month or so. But I know there are things that I would do differently to relay. I forgot what it was, because it was something it's like a certain style of how he relays the message, and I get the idea of, if he relays something to you, you should go look it up yourself to get the full exposure to it. And I don't remember exactly what the detail that I had, where what I felt he should do better to relay these facts. And then the question then turns into, it then goes, okay, so now you have these facts. Now you have to take it a step further, and you got to go old school with the journalism here. Because actually, bro, what we're doing, and when you really think about it, we're kind of doing a form of journalism. We are, in a way, that's what I mean. Sorry to just shift and go to a fucking tangent on what we're doing, but that's what we are technically doing. We're attempting to be on the ground and finding out shit. And if that's what we're gonna do, and we're gonna see these conspiracies, we should try to do more research and shit. If we get the time, definitely find those people, reach out to them, and see if we can fucking interview them ourselves, and just get more light on those kind of things. Because, bro, I tell you, I don't want to be a skeptic. I don't want to sit there in skepticism. I want to dive into the deep part of the truth as much as I fucking can. And the way that we can go about it is definitely that way. I know the weird part is, when you see people online that do that, it always seems that if someone's barking up the right tree, that's when they take that same person barking up that tree and hang them on that tree. That it's crazy that does happen like that. But I'm I'm always interested in fucking wanting to figure out the fucking facts on that shit. I wanna dive deeper into that to to find out more about it, because fucking Young Pharaoh strings the facts together, and now I want to go see those. Not only see those facts for myself, get a hold of those people. Like, what the hell is Hillary Clinton right now? What is she doing?
Exactly.
And how can we get in touch with her to get her to say some shit that she's not going to say, because she's had the ability to write it all off and basically plead the fifth. So it's just like, where do you even fucking start?
I think real soon a lot of shit gonna get revealed, because that's what this year is for. It's 2020, it's the 4 year. It's all about law and order, government, finding out information, harmony, revitalization, everything like that. So we gotta fall before we rise.
Yeah.
And that's basically what's all been going on this whole fucking year. Even with Trump becoming the president, like, I think I tie everything to spirituality, to, like, I wouldn't say I'm not a Christian per se, but I do read the Bible. I believe in God and everything like that. And so when it comes to the 400 years being over and our curse from Deuteronomy, Exodus and everything like that, I think
Mm-hmm.
about that shit. And I take everything into play. I take Revelations into play, because the Bible is acting itself out right now, to this very point, to this very degree. It's acting itself out. So the way I see it, if apparently from the people that they put in charge of telling us information, they said slaves first got here in 1619. So by that logic, last year 2019 was the 400th year. This is year one. So apparently, of course, we're gonna go through this year right now. It's all according to plan. It's all going as it should be. It's make like trumpet. Like, you know how they say the trumpets are gonna sound before
Yeah.
Jesus our God come back. Watch this shit. Cause I take etymology and numerology very seriously. You know what I'm saying? The study of the origin of words and numbers and everything like that. The meaning of those numbers and words.
Mm-hmm.
You got trumpets, right? The trumpet sounding. Who is running for president on Trump's side? You got Trump, Pence, Trump, Pence, trumpets. The trumpets
Mm.
sounding. Everybody waking up, seeing what the fuck going on.
That's crazy how you could. Okay, so backstory for me. Okay, so I've read about. Okay, it's no point to go into these. I've read a good number of books out of the Bible, but the one that always sticks the deepest, and I always remember reading was I read Revelations in third grade because I remember my grandma was always like, you gotta better get your act together and get your heart right. Read Revelations. It's gonna scare you. And I remember reading it, and it always, because I mean shit, it was fucking animated as fuck. It was the most outrageous chapter book in the entire Bible because it goes into the destruction of basically this reality that we live in. And the weird part, well, not the weird part, it's just the ties, how things like that can be tied together. And I never thought of it that way, but it's interesting. And I know I have a friend who who starts thinking about the mark of the beast, because that's one thing I have noticed. Hardcore believers, or or what do you want to call it? You want to call it Christians, or I don't know, Revelation. The point is, they always shuffle through what the mark of the beast is, and I know some people right now are saying that the mask is the mark of the beast, or
It's a.
original. What's
I
up?
like. I'm so glad you said that. I said something about this. This is what we're going through right now. Is basically mark of the beast pre-trial. It's a pretest. If you able to go around and just conform and walk around with these masks on like that, or stay inside because they want to shut you down like that, the shutdown with the coronavirus. That's pre-martial law type shit. Seeing how is the American people going to react to these conditions? Are we going to be just conformative and just fall in line? Are we gonna have people that's gonna rebel and like, nah, this shit here is fucked up? Bill Gates already got a patent for the RFID chip, and his patent is 666.
Mm, fucking A. Ha!
Okay, yeah, you see what I'm saying? They trying to go to a
Oh shit.
digital. You see what I'm saying? Like, it's all out there in front of you. Like, it's all out there for us to see. We just gotta connect the motherfucking dots, man. We gotta connect the dots. That's all it is. That's all it is. Cause that's how the skepticism go down. Like, you hear the information, and next thing you know, let's say like 2 days from now, you see something, and it's gonna click like, yo, what the fuck? Rob was just talking about this the other day. And then you're gonna see something else. You're gonna go deeper. You're gonna all see all the dots connect. Like, oh fuck. So this is what's going on.
Oh, no, no, no. You know what the craziest part about? So okay, that's is so normally the way that this shit was set up is I wanted to always like, there was like Jamie on the Rogan show, so I want to like Jamie shit every now and then, just to do fact checks. And this time, I just, it's kind of one of those things where unless you get that person in the chair that can do that all the time, I'd rather be in the conversation than sitting on my phone looking shit up, because that's how you stay and listen to your people and you're talking to them and whatever. But
Mm-hmm.
to get off of all that tangent, I did look it up. So okay, I'm going through a whirlwind at the moment because I just typed in Bill Gates 666 patent, and all the shit that pops up under it, everything from patent application 060606, and it's like does not mention inserting microchips. And then you scroll down again and you go into the patent scope. It goes WO 2020 060606 cryptocurrency system. And
Mm-hmm.
I'm starting to, because I don't know if you've been paying attention what my most recent study of things has been when I've been doing research. I've been diving a lot deeper into cryptocurrency, studying that, and just the whole virtual space, virtual reality space as a whole. And it's crazy because all these things are fucking linking. And it's just one of those things where it's like, like I don't have words right now. I just have what the fuck, you know?
Yeah, exactly. That's how it starts. That's how it fucking starts. Is at first, what the fuck? That's how it always starts. And I was thinking about this a few days ago, and I was like, we're moving to this time where everybody got, we got people that got robotic arms. People can motherfucking stream Netflix at their fingers and all this extra ass weird ass shit that's going on. People putting these mechanical parts in their body. We going more robotic by the day. AI, all this extra ass technological advances. And I'm thinking, if you just go back from, like I say, from 1619 to now, 400 years, why the fuck have we not evolved yet? Why can't we not do telekinesis? Why do we need phones to talk to each other? Why we can't talk through our minds? Why do we need cars to travel? Why we can't fly? Why have we not evolved yet? That's because all of these technological advances are actually mental and spiritual regressions and inhibitors. That's why I feel like anything that's technologically advanced or efficient is spiritually deficient. It's gonna make you lose some type of aspect of your real self.
Mm. So
It's for
my okay, for me, what I'm still learning and everything as I keep evolving with all this, because it's weird, and I this is why it's a big highlight for people when they say it's best to pick I guess a side per se, so that way you won't be like in the Bible they say a man who's what is that saying, who's both minded is unstable in all ways.
mm.
If you, I think you know what I'm talking about, the reference, that verse. It's the one, unstable, a double-minded man is unstable in all ways. I think that's what the verse is. And what I me pondering and trying to figure shit out in some form or fashion, it makes me that unstable person, because I I like to think that the advancements of tech and all that would hopefully bring us more together in form of singularity harmony or some kind. That's what I would hope that the push for would happen, because I then start playing around with the thought of one day we're going to create androids equivalent, and we're basically going to treat them like the new slaves. And it's one of those things where it's like it'll be a cycle, and we're going to repeat that shit. And and yeah, essentially they will start off as a resource, and say for instance they become conscious, then we're gonna have all this shit on repeat again, and then one day they will basically come together and say, hey, we have rights too, we're just as human as you are. And it will this shit will just hit a repeat until eventually it'll get to a point where we then, to actually bring us together, it would turn into some form of singularity. And it's a crazy world, because I just, it's just the thoughts of it. That's one way to think of it and how that goes. And then there's the thought of the, I guess, the purest thought process of, hey, nah, I'm not finna get this chip inserted in me, or fucking Elon Musk with the Neuralink. I'm not gonna get a small incision in my skull so I can go and link you up and call that shit the newest thing to the Matrix.
Yeah,
It's just,
no.
it's I don't know. I know for me, I when it comes to those things, I definitely want to take the roller coaster effect. I want to watch somebody else do it first before I decide if I'm gonna if I'm gonna copy my consciousness. No. But no, I'm that's where I'm at, bro. I'm fucking in the spectrum trying to figure it out and figure out where I stand on things. That's exactly where I'm at. I wish I could just pick something and go with it, but it's hard for me to do that when I recognize all this shit constantly evolving. And I think about old things, how before cars came out and there were horses, there was a people who would basically voice this. They would say, no, those cars are basically the devil. You're gonna fuck up our ability to use horses. Why would you do that? And cars are the best fucking thing that we've had happen for us for the last whatever so years. And that's why I don't fucking know. And all that to say, what I learned, what for me, what I've decided to do is I'm not married to anything. I'm trying to find the things that definitely that I can just hold to and know for a fact are true, and that's what I can try to evolve with. But it's just this shit just really makes me go fuck.
You know, as you say that, like, I just had the thought, you know, like maybe what's going on, maybe like all these videos and movies that done came out, you know, like iRobot and Guardians of the Galaxy, Star Wars. Maybe what we're going through right now is the developmental stage of getting to that level, you know, like actually traveling space and people talking to different aliens, robots going around, you know what I'm saying? Like on some Futurama ass shit. That's what we're leading to. That's basically I think those shows and movies tell the future that we're leading to. Because we're going towards more technological based life now anyway. You're trying to do all this 5G, going up, doing all these different things. So who's to say that's not what's going on? Maybe they already know what the future holds. And we just getting there. There's so many different theories. That's the thing. It's a theory. It's an idea. There's so many different possibilities that can go on. We got the multiverses and multidimensional aspects and shit. Parallel universes. It's so many options. Shit, the motherfucking apes can rise up. Like on Rise of the Planet of the Apes. Like it's
That's gonna be some shit.
You know? Or we can go through a zombie apocalypse. You know what I'm saying? Like it's people in Florida, they be, what's that shit they be smoking on coca or some shit like that. I don't know what it is, but they actually out there eating humans. You know, like they getting strong in the business, like superhuman power or whatever, and they eating people, like eating people's faces and shit. That shit going on in Florida. You can look it up. Like that shit going
I
on.
remember something like that. There was an instance where some cops were going after a guy, and he was just so high on it that they were trying to shoot him down, and he wasn't going down, and all that shit. So it's like that zombie apocalypse is not off the table. I still
Exactly.
say that shit. I still say that shit. That shit is. I still got my money on that shit. But ah,
I'm saying so. It's like I feel like it's so many different timelines. I think they all kind of merge in one. You can still have. I'm skeptical on that shit. I'm not gonna lie. I believe in aliens, but I kind of think they're really just like angels and demons. You know what I'm saying? But because I'm a flat earth believer, you know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna lie. So I still kind of believe that, you know what I'm saying, some aliens could fuck around, come around this hole and just like
dude,
invade. You
dude,
never know
you
what the fuck will
please.
happen.
Please, see, you can't just open up a can of worms like that and not expect me to go and ask questions and dive in. What the fuck? But okay, so please, because okay, I am a actually we were having this conversation the other day. Me and Trey Bolo, one of my homies, he's out of Alabama. He's a rapper, and we were talking about this, and I brought up the whole idea of what if being colorblind. What if being colorblind is the equivalent to being a flat earther, meaning that it is true. And the whole experience of being a flat earther is that's exactly what it is. And don't discount a flat earther for feeling or believing or any of those things for thinking that earth is flat, because what if it's just like being colorblind? They see things in different colors and have a whole different experience while they're here. And what if flat earthers are basically experiencing this whole entire thing completely different. It just I know you can go into the science of why people can be colorblind, but what if that's also a thing? And and I guess what are your thoughts on that? And then also, please tell me how you discovered you were a flat earther, because I am now you opened that can of fucking worms.
Oh man, it's a lot really. I can't even really just tell you one specific reason why I believe that, but I do know from my personal research, from watching different videos on YouTube, doing my reading of the Bible, you know what I'm saying? They talk about how we are in a firmament, which is basically a dome, you know what I'm saying? And how we got four pillars, how the earth is still on four pillars. I look up at the sky and I see the clouds moving. You know what I'm saying? Like one person might think and look like, damn, the earth is really moving. I think like, damn, The sky is moving. And it's our perspective. That's how it is. And like you said, it's that colorblind thing. Like we could just be living life in a whole different. We're experiencing the same life, but in a different way. And so I look at things a different way. Like I look up from. I've been on a plane plenty of times. I've been on like high ass skyscrapers and everything. What I'll do is I'll actually look as far as I can, see if I can find some type of curve. And the thing is, I might not be able to see it with my naked eye, but I've yet to see anything that kind of make me believe like the Earth is round. Because if you go up, let's say you go to the top of Reunion Tower, or go to the top of the Empire State Building, and you just keep looking as far as you can. Get some binoculars, keep looking as far as you can. Get some even better binoculars or telescope, whatever. Just keep going straight. You're gonna be able to keep seeing anything that you need to see. And like with the Horizon Go, with the boats, there's an experiment where it looked like it's going down the curve if you looking from a certain magnification, but if you deepen that magnification, that boat's still there. It's all. I don't know. It's an aspect of how you perceive things. I never really believed that the Earth is round because I just can't see that happening. Because like I'm the type of nigga like, bro, who at the bottom of the Earth? They gonna fall off this hole. Like, how does this shit work? If it's a spear, how would it work?
My question for you is, when people throw science at all of that, what is your take on that? When you throw science at that, what I guess what I'm getting at is, so take a Reading Rainbow fucking song popped in my head. Take a look. Anyway, point is, when you one, what if you had the opportunity to go to space and oh gosh, because it starts breaking down at the whole. What if that experience for another person is different? Because say for instance, we go to space and we look back at the planet, and I look at the fucking planet, and that bitch is a spear. But you in this same spaceship, you look at this planet, you look at this shit we're on, and that bitch is flat in a dome. What the fuck do you do then? Like,
yes, man. That I don't know how that would be. I don't know. Like if we go to Earth, go to space together, we looking at the same Earth. It's gonna either be round or it's gonna be flat. Like it can't be two different things from the same perspective. Like if we on Earth, then we can have a different perspective because we looking at the Earth from on top of it or on it, like inside the Earth. But if you looking from space, looking down, I'm pretty sure you're gonna see the same exact thing. We're gonna see either a round Earth or a flat Earth, whatever the case may be. Ain't no telling what you'll see. You know what I'm saying? I don't even think. See, that's the thing. I don't think we went to space because of that dome shit. Like because we have a dome, and that goes back to the Tower of Babel. We was all together before God separated us through all the languages and everything and moved us from everything. We was trying to get to God. All these skyscrapers, it's the same thing going on. America is New Babylon. That Tower of Babel, they were trying to reach heaven. Going to the moon, they trying to reach God. They can't reach him. You're not gonna get there. That's why I feel that. Like, cause in the Bible it says it. Like you can't. We're blocked by a firmament. We are inside a dome. And there's movies out there too. There's a movie called The Signal with what's his dude name? What's his name? Lawrence Fishburne, I believe. And like they're aliens and everything. But what happened is they kidnapped these two kids, these two adolescent like teenagers or whatever, and like they're becoming lab experience or some shit like that. He get like some bionic robot legs and shit, and they trying to leave that whole Area 51 plant. There's an Area 51, but apparently that shit they was in was on some whole Matrix shit. Like he had started running real fast, trying to get away from them, and then he ran so fast, it's like he broke a sound barrier type thing, and then he broke through a glass, and there was like nothing there. It was just like all kind of mechanical ass shit, like on the Matrix. You know how the Matrix looked when they unplugged, and it was all the different in that little ship. It looked just like that. Like they was in a whole simulation. So
actually, that's a whole nother subject right there. The whole thing that just as we all believe all these different things, there's a really good chance all this shit's a simulation. The belief behind this shit being a simulation is also pretty high. And it's crazy because I always tie it back to how we make things in games like The Sims and how tech keeps advancing. And I was playing around with the thought earlier this morning, what happens when we can figure out how to make the experience of 60 years be in 60 minutes? And you can do that and you can feel it to its full capacity. Then we get to the area where we start making our own little simulations and own little planets with on some Westworld shit where you have a whole simulation that can just run on its own, and then you can watch things. And if you can create that, then it gets scary to who it gets scary to whoever gets scared of it. Basically, what if we're like foul fucking I don't know, prototype.exe, and this bitch is basically trying to figure out how do we solve racism? That's exactly what
Yeah.
we're in a simulation trying to solve racism.
And see that could very well be true because like, have you ever done shrooms before?
Not yet, but I'm looking forward to it.
I've done it. I've been looking for them for like a while. I just did them this year. This is my first year doing them, like earlier this year. But if somebody told me, I've been looking for them for a while. They said, you're not gonna find shrooms, they're gonna find you. So they finally found me, you know what I'm saying? So I did them for my first time. And when I tell you, when I finally started tripping and everything, it felt like I was in a simulation. Like I feel like I knew I was in a simulation. Like everything looked fake. Time didn't exist. Like the cars would be driving by, and like you can see the after images in the foreshadowing of them. Like you can see the after effect as it's still. Let's say if it's a still image, and it was going across your face or anything like that, you can see a whole flash like that car is still there. But it's like how can I explain that shit?
No. You're doing, bro. Okay, between me and you, well, shit, I forgot. This fucking shit's recording. I'm slightly making a a DMT party list because one of my not final adventures, but one of my adventures before I get married is I'm going to go on this adventure for DMT because of course, I want to acquire it so I can see the other worlds. Basically, I want to
Yeah,
see the universe as a whole. And I'm basically gonna write your name down and put you on the list too. When I do that
please do.
adventure, I'm gonna call you.
Please do. I definitely want to try DMT, man. I ain't gonna lie, but the psychedelic mushrooms have been some of the best experiences of my life, and you feel that after you get through tripping, like it's an enlightenment that happens. I'm talking. I felt like I was experiencing life for the first time. I wanted. It was a point in time where I wanted to try an oatmeal cream pie, and it felt like I was eating it for the first time. But I knew, like in my head, I knew, like, bro, I had these hoes plenty of times, but it's like I
Mm.
wanted it like it was my first time having it. I'm just looking at the sky. I'm looking at everything. And it just looked different. It just looked like, yo, I'm really just having an experience right now. I'm a spirit. And this is a simulation. Like, it felt like a whole simulation. Like, none of this shit was real. Like, I could probably turn it off if I wanted to.
Yo,
That shit was wild. Like, I was seeing all kind of different things from, like, my Nike. I was wearing some Nike sweatpants. A Nike chick started crying. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I was seeing different, like, I had shadows coming to me, you know what I'm saying? I was just seeing different images. It was just weird, you know. I'm gonna say weird. It was enlightening. It was amazing. It was very amazing. I suggest everybody. I ain't gonna lie. I suggest everybody that's able to go try them some motherfucking shrooms and then talk about life afterwards.
see, actually, that was another thought that we were playing around with how we will solve all this bullshit and help people come together. We will put DMT in the fucking water system, and then everybody can sit their ass down, and when you're done with it, you'll sit there and you'll realize, oh shit, I've been on some fuck shit. And
That's gonna
there
be
we
an
go.
experience for.
That's Project Mayhem is Project put DMT in the fucking water. Oh man.
And man, they've been trying that back in the day. You know, the government and everything, MK Ultra testing out mushrooms, testing out psychedelics, DMT, everything like that. They were
Yeah.
doing it back then, testing out the soldiers and see how that will affect them and everything like that. So they know about that shit too. They know
But they've
about
been
everything.
like that's the thing. When you're going at that shit at a malintent, that's how you start fucking up people and giving them traumas that they had no need at whatsoever. Like that's the thing. When you can when someone's heart is just not in the necessarily the right place, it starts fucking up shit. And that's how you get that shit like Project Ultra, you get fucking Project Paperclip, you get
I
it's
was just to
just
say that. I was just to
it's
say that.
so it's just it's so fucked. Ah,
Just because
my
everybody
bad.
want to know how to hurt the body instead of heal the body. That's why we had. That's
Yeah,
why we still practice medicine instead of do medicine. You know what I'm saying? You get what I'm saying? Like we practice medicine. We don't know how to actually really heal each other or how to actually make somebody feel better. We just practice it. We're not masters at it just yet. So we practice religion. You know what I'm saying? You're not masters at it. You're practicing. You're trying to get better.
yeah, yeah.
And until our mindset change to where we don't want to hurt each other, but instead heal each other, we're going to keep on figuring out how to make a poison, how to make a gas agent, how to do all this extra ass, evil ass shit to fuck people up because we want to take their land or take their resources, whatever the case may be. That's it. It's greed. It's all kind of bad, low vibration mentalities and everything, emotions that create all the shit that we're going through right now.
I
I,
know.
I,
Oh, my, go ahead, go ahead.
I was just gonna say shit. I wish I could have a way where everybody get right. You know what I'm saying? We all think on one accord. We all just like a snap of the finger. We all good. But I don't think that's gonna be able to happen though. Like it's just some collective, random conscious shift, which that's coming. We're waking up, but I don't think it's gonna be the point to where like we just gonna turn around like your racism is dead. Like why are we doing this? We need to save our children. We need to save our planet. We need to recycle. I don't think that's gonna turn around and be that day where we just wake up and that's happening. It's gonna be gradual.
One thing that I like to feel, and I guess in some form of fashion and logically too, when you have some logic to it, that I feel is a good start past these next 400 years is how we're connecting now and how then that's why I guess I bank on a little bit of fusing all the shit, spirituality, the space and time, the virtual versions of it, and all that shit together as we move forward and I basically press towards a singularity. This communication, we're recognizing just how important communication is again. This shit, podcasting, people are sitting down and talking to people. I don't know how deep you are in the podcast community, but there are so many people just connecting with others, learning other people, sitting there, and they're not on Facebook. They are taking 3 hours. They are talking 5 hours, talking and getting to know people, understanding things, seeing how other people think, all this shit. And it's don't get me wrong, we used to do this shit back in the day when we didn't have technology, but I love the fact that this door is opening again and it's bringing us back to something that we know, that we knew. I like that. I really like that. And that's why I think we're on the right path. I want to hold on to hope. Yeah.
Do
Hey,
it.
I'm
Do it.
holding on to hope because I feel like we're on the right path. I really do. I really do.
I do too, man. That's one thing I definitely want to make sure is. Hello?
Yeah, I'm sure.
Okay. Just one thing I definitely want to make sure I get across. So with all these conspiracy theories, whatever you want to call them, all this stuff going on, people talking about what's coming on with the world, and it can be a little frightening. You know what I'm saying? And you can get scared, but like the thing is, it's nothing to be afraid of. As long as you're, you know what I'm saying, doing the right thing, living right, having a good heart, everything's gonna go as it should be. Good is always going to win. It's if you look at the movies, the comics, good is always gonna win in the end. Yeah, sometimes your hero might need to get his ass beat for a little bit, you know what I'm saying? But that shit build character. You know what I'm saying? It's necessary. So you're gonna come back and you're gonna be ready to fight and do what you need to do. I ain't gonna say fight, but you're gonna be able to eventually win. So what I'm getting at is basically we're gonna be okay. What's going on? The human good is gonna win. We're gonna be okay. We're gonna live right. We're gonna awaken. It's not the end of the world, but the end of the world as we know it. It's not the end of the world, but the end of the world as we know it. So all the shit that we used to do, we're not gonna do anymore. You know what I'm saying? We're not gonna allow ourselves to be subjugated and belittle ourselves. We're gonna actually be light. We're gonna love each other. We're gonna harmonize with each other. We're gonna protect our planet, protect each other, and just live in love. It's gonna be not a duality mindset, but a unity mindset. That's what God is. God is unity. God is one. It's all. That's why I say the etymology is important. A lot of people like what's going on this whole month. I'm pretty sure a lot of people feeling like they've been alone, that they're having to deal with a lot of shit just by themselves. We're all going through the same 2020. Alone is just all one. We're all in this together. We're all one, doing this one thing together. We experience 2020 together. You're not alone. It's like you said, people podcasting, talking to each other for 3 hours, 5 hours, whatever the case may be. If that's how you feel alone, we got technology. That's what it was originally made here for. The social media was originally to connect people. So go ahead, go back to the basics, go back to the roots, send out a message, talk to people, because you're not in this by yourself. Everybody is going through something. So talk, communicate, and that's how you're gonna get love in your heart. That's how you're gonna broaden your horizons. That's how you're gonna get out of this fear mindset and understand that shit. You know what? We all okay. We gonna be good.
Well said. Well fucking said. Because that's exactly the note that needs to fucking hit the ears, man. I fucking this has been a fucking blast. We got to do it again. We definitely
Yes,
got to
sir.
do it
Yes,
again.
sir.
You should tell people where they can find you and find your content. And also one last thing, because you also opened up another can of worms. You said you rap, and I didn't fucking. I gotta stop forgetting to do this. So I want to do that thing where on Sway in the morning where people get hit and they be like, "Hey, now you gotta drop some bars. You gotta freestyle some shit." So that's and that's what you gotta do.
Oh, boy. Shit, that's a bit. You want me to just spit some, or what you want me to do? Just go at the head? You got a beat or something
Bro,
like that?
dude. So you see now they want me to bring out the beats.
Oh, matter of fact, hold on. That just opened a can of worms right there. I had listened to one of your tapes on SoundCloud. That Emmett Till beat that you got, that whole slap, bro. I really fuck with that one for sure, for sure. And I
I
know
I it's
it's
one of it's one of my I don't know if you one of my good friends. I'm not gonna reveal that he has it. One of my brothers. I need to take that down because it's misleading as fuck. But like a lot of that on there, I gotta take down because a lot of people it's owned by someone else, and I gotta start updating that because there's more shit. Um, it's. I'm glad you like it though. I'm glad you like it though.
hey, it's all good. I'm just saying, I'm just like that whole rock. So they better use that whole right. That's all I know.
But for this segment, you go just acapella. You can either spit some of your shit or you can spit it out the dome. It doesn't matter, bro. Just basically hit them with your technique.
All right, that's a bit. That's a bit. That's a bit.
You still there, bro?
Yeah, 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 yeah. I'm here.
Okay, okay.
I'm looking for something right now. I'm trying to.
It's crazy
All
because
right.
as I okay.
I spent some time in the trap, and now I spent time in the classroom. I done had to show my face in court. I had to see for myself how this cash move. I had to listen to my old heads and suck up their knowledge like a vacuum. The tortoise and the hare, it took me some time, but I finally passed you. Mama called me, said, son, be careful, cutting niggas be watching. You better know I ain't talking about violence, say put them in the coffin. Niggas can't get the same hoes, so niggas be blocking. But I'ma be who I came here to be, and there ain't no way you can stop it. And I ain't even know this world player. I'm a crystal child. And once I realized that, I realized there was much more for me to figure out. Started doing some meditations, but to be honest, it's really been a while. Sometimes I feel like I need a woman to help me put these problems down. Every day I pray this is the day that I get to the top. Only took me one time to touch the stove to feel if it's hot. Only took me one time to learn the stove and fill up the pot. It don't take much for a real man enough, another man really to not, because niggas be playing themselves. Niggas gonna take out themselves. If I lose a friend, oh well, end of the day, I always prevail. Praise the Lord, if I go to hell, I had to break up out of my cell. I had to break up out of my shell. Scared your favorite rapper, he wasn't prepared. I'm king, girl, yeah, I do this shit. Been at it for a while, I ain't new to this. They saying this is crazy, this is ludicrous. You can try and turn me down, but ain't no muting this. I keep going forever, this is on and on and on. And a rap is a letter written on my phone. I like my winters short and my summers long. The girl opened the door with no panties on, just a long ass t-shirt and some fluffy ass socks on. Got a blunt in her hand, playing a cold ass black song. This vibe feeling so right, and we both know it's wrong. But I'm only here for the night. So we're gonna do it with the lights on. That's it right there.
Bro, that's fire.
Got for you.
If if you got some links, bro, send me your shit to your music so I can check that shit out. Send me your links so I can send it out to everybody else. And other than that, bro, thank you for being a part of Oakcliff Beach. And I'm about to head out and go do some shit in the real world.
All right, all right. That's how I do it. That's how I go. I'm glad to be on the show. Glad you got me on. And yeah, prosper, live, and be righteous, my boy.
You too, man. Stay light.
Stay light, stay light.